Karen, the building manager, probably regrets her wording. I live in a housing cooperative. I have no idea if there is something equivalent in other countries, but I live in Norway. It's essentially where you own your own apartment, but the cooperative owns the buildings and the land. If you're going to make changes to the building, you'll have to apply for a permit, otherwise it's generally do as you please, as long as you don't bother your neighbors. Anyways, I put up a small greenhouse on my private patio. As many others had done, but not this exact type. This was an aluminum construction, not a frame with a loose plastic cover kind. The building manager, who is best described as a triple Karen, threw a fit. She actually watched me spending 3 days assembling the greenhouse, then the next day she called me and threw a fit. Not because I put up a greenhouse, but because I had used screws to fasten it to the patio for stability. Apparently, I was not allowed to use screws on the floorboards, as this was considered changes to the building, in her mind. And I had destroyed the floorboards. Never mind, the whole patio was built with, wait for it, screws, though the floorboards. Screws in the wall were okay, she'd told me, in response to me asking about why she'd put up shelves on her patio herself. But not the floorboards. Apparently, the difference was monumental, and everyone should just know this, intuitively. Nowhere, literally nowhere, does it say fastening things to the floorboards or putting screws in the floorboards is not allowed. Not in the house rules, my contract, or in the National Housing Cooperatives law. But she was furious I had done this. I took a deep breath, and as I am quite creative, I immediately thought of a workaround. I'll just put it on wheels, then. I made a big number of saying that fastening was essential, because otherwise the greenhouse would not be stable enough to withstand wind. She said she understood this, but I had now ruined the co-op's property. And this was a really serious matter. She told me to send an application for a permit, to see if she could find a way to get approval from the board. But she could not guarantee I could keep it, she said, with the fakest of sympathies. So I sent the application, with photos, saying what I had done, and that I didn't think I had to apply to do it, as I never considered putting in a prefabricated greenhouse would be seen as changes to the building. My application was rejected, as I anticipated. But she worded the rejection exactly as I hoped she would. I was not allowed to put in a fastened greenhouse, and she probably thought she'd been clever when she included that I was not allowed to put the greenhouse on my front lawn neither. I had worked that it needs to be fastened to be stable, angle hard, because I hoped she, as the Karen she is, would fall for that reverse psychology. So I proceeded to put the greenhouse on wheels. I made a frame from 2x4s, and put 8 small furniture wheels under the frame. I then lifted and screwed the greenhouse onto the frame. I put some boards on the sides, just above the ground, to stop the draft. Boom. Mobile greenhouse. I can slide it all over the patio. I put some hooks in the walls, and used transport straps to secure the whole thing to the wall for stability. The walls were okay to put screws in, remember? So in effect, my greenhouse is now in the exact same location, 4 inches taller, and with ugly, blue ribbons tying it to the wall. And the patio now has 22 open screw holes, ready to be filled with rainwater in the fall. But oh well, as she's repeatedly told me, it's not my patio. Then I sent an orientation email to the building manager with photos and videos of the sliding greenhouse, with the rest of the board members on copy, where I explained in detail what I had done, and how every step was in compliance with the rejection email I had received, which I of course included. I said the greenhouse was now to be considered a piece of mobile patio furniture, just like my sofa and chairs were. And that I now considered this subject to be a closed matter. I have not heard a single word from any of them, it's been over a week. I think I got her. I can't imagine she'll find a loophole that lets her legally dictate what patio furniture is allowed and not in the co-op, since the patios are stated to be for every apartment owner's private usage. So when Christmas comes, I'm planning to decorate the greenhouse with lights. Make it pretty. Because every time Karen steps out of her front door, she has to face my patio where she is looking straight at my greenhouse. The least I can do is make it pretty for her, right? Edit. Thanks for the awards and upvotes, I am humbly appreciative. Some background. I'm a 39F. I've lived here for 10 years without a single complaint. Karen is the new building manager. Being the Karen she is, which means highly narcissistic female, she's using my greenhouse as a way to establish her newfound authority. Make an example. I didn't get her permission, so the greenhouse got to go. It's not about the holes. It was just the only argument she could use to get me to take it down, especially since I had argued hard that it needed to be fastened for stability. And I am going to take care of the holes. I'll either fix the holes or change the few damaged floorboards, and I told her this on the phone. The damage is no big deal either way. The greenhouse is my therapy. I suffer from PTSD. So keeping my therapy is kind of a big deal to me. Not trying to get sympathy, just saying why I decided to fight her on this. A pink plastic flamingo's easy to acquire in Norway. In the US they are reasonably common and extremely tacky lawn ornaments. You could include a mobile plastic animal menagerie on your patio. Maybe even dress them up in seasonal outfits to celebrate the holidays. That, with the lights, should complete the effect. Edit. My petty butt is humbled by your appreciation. Also, thanks for the awards. Not sure I understand the malicious part here. You did nothing but cave to Karen's demands. She does not give a shit about your greenhouse, she just had to voraciously defend the stupid rules, which she did successfully. I would do a little research into your bylaws and figure out what is required for the board to add or change said bylaws. In my condo co-op, any changes to the bylaws required 100% approval of the owners. It was small, only 13 units. That way if she tries to change anything to retroactively screw you, you can fight her on it. Sounds like we may have a Frank the Gargoyle situation here. Google it, and you might be able to go viral and raise a bunch of money for charity. I had destroyed the floorboards. Never mind, the whole patio was built with wait for it screws though the floorboards. You kinda did. Because when you remove the greenhouse, you now have holes in the boards where water may cause rot. Some Karens never learn. It's easier to attract bees with honey than vinegar. She now can enjoy her shot of vinegar every morning. The thing is, in her efforts to screw you over, no pun intended, she herself literally gets it thrown in her face every day. Way to go, op. Enjoy your veggies. Firstly, fill the screw holes. It's you that will have to live with a rotten patio. Lastly, why did you apply for permission? You should have ignored her. There is nothing she could do, and the rest if the board EOD not go to war if it. Now you've spent more money to piss her off. What if you have to deal with her again? What if you need permission for sign anything else? Co-ops are common in NYC, rare in most other US cities. Why did you have to use ugly blue straps to secure it, when screws are allowed in the walls? And the screw holes in the floor, aren't they more your problem than hers? What I'm getting from this is that you have Dritty Pa drag it just to make a Karen a little annoyed. Maybe I'm missing something. Excellent MC, op. That doesn't sound like malicious compliance. Sounds like you just couldn't have it fastened to the ground. Lol, they didn't say you couldn't have the greenhouse, just not fastened. IDK, not much of a problem. Bravo. I actually did exactly this but for a whole dwelling inside a warehouse building. I needed an expensive permit to do a fit-out. But on wheels it's not considered a building or built form. It's just an object. Is your full patio in her line of sight? I have cushion covers that say, fuck, fuck, fuckity fuck fuck, that I'm sure would look awesome on an outdoor chair. This post makes me want to reread A Man Called Over. Thank you for that. Good luck with Karen. You must now decorate it with the wrong holiday. Even better if you do it with holidays that don't even exist. Christmas should be US July Independence Day decoration, with American flags. Hun heta wench, ika sant. Do you live stables veg? 'Cause she definitely sounds like the manager I had there. Your cooperative sounds a lot like townhouse condominiums, or even just a condominium, here in Canada. This is excellent work. Rock on. Another Frank the Gargoyle story. I like it. Now you should be able to fasten it back down because you'd be using pre-existent holes and not modifying the premises. Yeah, so if anyone still thinks that HOAS are an American peculiarity, this is a great example of why condo boards, which are often equivalent, replicate the same dynamic worldwide. And do they really call lumber by inch sizes in Europe? I would imagine that the actual dimensions are cm. What's a metric 2 by 4? Before Xmas lights, you could decorate it as spooky haunted greenhouse. I'm in a monumental fight with the building board, HOA at my place currently. An old, male Karen, all rich in the building except me, told me a small unobtrusive light made the area feel like a red light district. I replied saying I wasn't sure about that, but I would trust his experience on the matter, on copy to all in the building. Haven't heard from him since. Sounds like a lot of work, but I'm glad you got to keep your greenhouse and that it's mobile now. Even better. Arrange plants inside into the shape of a hand giving her the finger. I agree with everything except not fixing the screw holes in the floorboards. If that's possible, I'm no handyman, correct me if needed. In my mind, the holes that will fill up with water when it rains can cause water infiltration in the patio, and that can cause severe damage. Here in Canada a few years ago we had a veteran who was cited for flying a Canadian flag which was slightly too large for the rules. The problem with these sort of groups is that they attract the kind of Napoleons that love to make the lives of others unpleasant. Petty dictators, most of them. You should look at a user by the name of Sloppy. Search Reddit for Sloppy Story and Alexa play Bitches Ain't Shit by Dr. There are a lot of stories of his war with his neighbor. Anyways, he got some creative lawn decorations and put 'em up facing his evil neighbors. One of those creative decorations is a giant middle finger that lights up and blinks at the neighbor's window the entire time it's on. FUCKYOU, I'm sure your Karen building manager will appreciate your best wishes for her sex life. I live in a cooperative apartment building, and we just require you to replace the boards when you remove the greenhouse. For the Christmas season, put up Halloween accoutrements. Otherwise look at what is specified and mess with it. I think your greenhouse needs garish decoration year-round and for Christmas a full light and sound show would be appropriate. Got to be festive you know. Hello. Just wanted to say that having a mobile greenhouse is an awesome idea. Congratulations on getting it up and stable. Do you have a picture of it? I'm picturing a Griswold Christmas. Flashing lights, the kind that loop through various programs of blinking. Any chance to find the gaudiest tinsel possible? Maybe throw a wireframe, lit, waving Santa on top. Anything in the rules that states you have to wait for Christmas, or remove it after Christmas. Maybe a Festivus poll for year-round cheer, if rules do limit Christmas decorations. If questioned, say that its vibes are meant to ward off Karens. Norwegian Karen building manager sounds like a Karen of Karens, an Uber Karen assembled in a lab from the parts of lesser Karens. I'm Norwegian. Let me tell you, I know this type of Karen. I have a couple of those in my Boratslag too. In the United States, a woman had a fight with a neighborhood Karen about her front porch Christmas decoration, a decorative stone gargoyle upon which she placed a Santa hat. The gargoyle now has a name, Frank the Christmas Gargoyle. He has a page on Facebook and everything. I mention this in case this might appeal to your sense of anti-Karen holiday fun. The patio now has 22 open screw holes, ready to be filled with rainwater in the fall. I think that was exactly why you were not supposed to do it the way you did it. Please fix the holes. The coop might own the patio but you own part of the coop. So basically you are breaking your own things. Maybe your greenhouse needs a disco ball too. Might as well decorate it for every season, holiday. Definitely find something pretty that would also annoy Karen. You should start documenting the Karen and the board members for future use and as CYA. This is hilarious. Exactly the type of thing I come here to read lol. I love this. Do you have other holidays that you can make it pretty for her? Like Valentine's Day? I know most people make fun of us in the US for our fun on holidays but still, we do like excuses to decorate for different holidays. Fill in the screw holes with wood putty and lightly sand. Don't let her ding you for the earlier installation marks. A massive failure of authoritarians, be they national dictators or the bloc bully, is the chronic inability to anticipate their opponent's moves. Well done. Ameth arsehole.